up. Girl, you done made me sit up now.
Speechless. Why you speechless?
I just said because it's like I'm like with a celebrity couple right now. Like,
Oh my God. Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Hey. Make sure you say hey when you come in. And please like and share the live. That will help with the algorithm so much. And I greatly appreciate it. I am sharing this to a few more places. And then we are going to get started. Scoot back, cutie. Got my water. My mouth be getting dry when I talk so much. And yes, so make sure you say hey when you come on in. I thank you guys for joining me. I thank you. We are going to go over a few topics today, 4 topics to be exact. I don't know if I'm gonna do all 4, but I'm gonna try to go over as many as possible. Okay, so over the last week or a few days, I posted a couple of different posts, and they got a significantly amount of comments, and which helps see and understand different perspectives on the topics and different points of views. And so you want to get out? Okay, go over there. Thank you. And so yes, you get to see other people or get to see how other people feel about the topics, that's up for discussion. And so how does that help other people? So some people can be going through any of these situations, and maybe they want to hear a different perspective, but maybe they don't want to talk about it with someone, or maybe they don't want to bring it to the forefront or to the public, or just for it to be known. So hearing perspectives, other people perspectives and opinions about these topics can help like that, or help in that way. Also, when you see people responses, I know a lot of responses I be seeing, I learn from them, even if it's not something I agree with, because I'm like, okay, see, if you would have moved that way, then your outcome probably would have looked like that. So you can learn from other people's experiences as well as mistakes. Instead of you making the mistakes yourself, you can see how someone else making those mistakes. I'm sorry. I hear my baby. You know how when you're a mom, you kind of gotta just listen, like, what kind of cry is that? Sound like she ain't crying no more, so she good. So yeah, you could learn from other people's mistakes or experiences, and figure out, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I learned what not to do. Maybe I don't want my situation to look like that. So yeah, don't do that. So yeah, so I hope that from these conversations that you can take away something. And these are all my opinions. No one opinion is right or wrong. It's how you feel about a topic or a situation or whatever it is that we're discussing. And feel free to voice your opinions about the topics as well in the comments. Later on, I will open up the floor for people to come on and have the discussion as well, if that's something you would like to do. Okay. So I was trying to figure out what order I was going to go in for the topics. Please, if you guys could share the live, that would be so great. I was trying to see which order I was going to go in. And so I'm like, whenever there's a situation that's happening, it usually doesn't start with that situation. There's root to things in the beginning of things of why things can turn out and play out the way they do. And so I'm like, between the four discussions or four topics that we have uphand or uphand, the four topics we have to talk about, how would I put these in order, starting with the root? And so out of the four topics, so we have obedience is a must in a relationship. We have society has created the narrative for women to want to be bosses more than wives. We have there are absolutely no benefits for a man in a legal marriage, and to keep the marriage spiritual instead of legal, or having a legal marriage or a marriage license. And then we have if your body count is higher than your age, throw the whole body away. Guys, if don't take that literally, no, that does not mean fall off the face of the earth. That's not what it means. So it's just a statement. Don't take it that serious. And so I believe that the body count, all of these topics kind of relate. And I think starting with the body count is important. Why you think starting with the body count is important? Because a woman being very promiscuous. Hey sister, thanks for joining in. Please like and share the live. Thank you. I would greatly appreciate it. So having a high body count or being very promiscuous can lead or can have an effect on your future relationships. So I think it's important to start there, because you wouldn't make it to marriage, you wouldn't make it to being a wife, or you wouldn't make it to, what was the other topic? High body count. You wouldn't, thank you sister, you wouldn't be able to make it to those if we don't start with the body count. How does your body count affect your future relationships? Well, having a high body count means you're dealing with multiple, or you have dealt with multiple men, many men. And let me just say, having a higher body count than your age, I don't care if you're 19. I just, in my opinion, respectfully, sleeping with more than, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say 5, and that's, but I think that's been like, I think that that's not even normal in today's society. I think 5 is a very, very low number for some, when in my eyes, that is very, that's high. But if you're 19 and you've got 19 bodies, that is insane. That is insane. And so before I even go into there, a lot of times people say, why does it matter for men, but it doesn't matter for women? What do you guys think about a man who's been with multiple women? Usually if a man's been with a lot of women, he's highly desired. So he's got something going on, whether it's his looks, whether it's his resources, whether it's something else, but it's something that's standing out or valuable about him, that multiple women sleeps with him, or that he can continue to get multiple women. It is easier for women to get sex than it is for men to get sex. A woman can just go to a man and she don't even got to be the best looking, and there is going to be a man who want to have sex with her, multiple. So imagine a woman who looks beautiful, gorgeous, has, a lot of great qualities. She can get sex from any man out there. But a man can't just get sex like that. He can't just walk up to a woman and be like, I want to have sex with you. And she'd be like, okay, unless she's one of these women with high body counts or very promiscuous. And still, even that, you got to be attracted to them. You got to be digging something about them. You got to be into something about them. It has to be something where a woman, she can just go get it. So if a man has a lot of bodies, it's because there was a lot and many women interested in him or something that he had. which is why usually a man with a lot of bodies is looked at like a player or something. There's a reason why. We all want the same man for a reason. He has something going on. He has something of value. But if a woman sleeps with multiple people, she's lacking something. Hence of why she keeps jumping around from person to person. So that is the difference. Also, think about, okay, so a woman is a receiver. She receives things, energy, DNA, a lot of things when having sex with a man. The man is the giver. He's not taking in so much when he's having sex. That also plays a difference. So think about the man and him being a key, and think about the woman and her being a lock. A key could go enter in many different locks. The key is not going to get destroyed. Maybe over time, over a significantly long period of time, maybe the key could start to get damaged. But think about a woman being a lock and multiple different keys going in that lock. That lock is going to get damaged because the key don't fit. The key is this, the key is that, the key is not the right fit. So over time, many different things going into this key is going to damage the lock or the woman. So you can take it that way too. So those are the differences of why men body count versus women body count is not the same. And we don't have to, try to compare everything to a man. We are not equal. And I wasn't talking about men. So usually when someone bring up body count, they're like, well, okay, we're not talking about men. And then if you want to bring the men into it, I just told you why. It don't. They're looked at with value versus we're looked at like we're lacking something. That's why we hopping around. A man's not going to be able to get multiple bodies if he is not good in areas or is valuable in some kind of way. So let's listen to
women
this.
who say body count don't matter. Avoid wifing them because they're the ones with the high body counts. They're the ones with the high body counts, which is why they want it to not matter to you. If a woman can't offer you a clean past, do not offer her a part of your bright future. Like she can be a part of life. Like, okay, this is an experience, but all of this success and the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, nah, that's for somebody with a clean past. Because we value a woman's past, a woman values a man's future. That's like a woman wifing a man, and in his future he's gonna be a bum for the rest of his life.
That's not the same.
It's the same.
We're talking about finances.
No, but I'm saying your body count, your purity is finances to a man. A woman who slept with 100 guys, we're gonna be able to tell like this. Her morality is gone. Her innocence is gone. 9 times out of 10, her femininity is gone. We're gonna know.
And I agree with everything he said, which is why I feel like if you say that a high body count don't matter, then respectfully, your body count is higher than you would like it to be. Because someone who doesn't have a high body count is you best to believe they're gonna be like, yes, it matters. Hence why they don't have a high body count, because they valued who they gave their body up to. And I don't understand how we'll say all these things like that a man is not doing or that we want from a man after we already gave him our body. Like, you gave him the most valuable thing, and then you draw the line that because he can't pay for something. Really? That is crazy. That is insane. We need to not do that. Our body count and how many people we've been with is super important. You do not just want to go around being promiscuous, sleeping with everyone. Why is that? Well, the amount of someone has slept with in the past has an impact on their current relationship or their future relationships. Hold on, let me go to my notes. Let me go to my notes. I'm like, where did it go? So a woman having a high body count can potentially affect future relationships by creating negative perceptions from partners or potential partners due to societal double standards, potentially leading to judgment, mistrust, or concerns about commitment. Even if these perceptions are always accurate, however, it's important to remember that a person's past sexual history shouldn't necessarily define their capacity for a healthy relationship in the future. It shouldn't, but it does. No, it should actually. That's what Google says it shouldn't. I say it should, because this is why when I'm up here and I'm saying things, about relationships and things, a lot of people go against me and be like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. Why? Because you've been through an experience that has affected you in a negative way, to now you're already prejudging future situations at the door. You already said, no, I can't do this, because you already experienced bad. For example, off topic, but it still relates. Being a stay-at-home mom. People say, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not about to do this. I'm not about to depend on no man. I'm not about to be waiting for this, or I'm not about to sit here and be controlled. The only way you could feel that way is because you saw that happened to someone, or that has happened to you. That's the only way. If you had a great experience from being a stay-at-home mom, you wouldn't be able to project those feelings or feel that way. Which is why, take it back to body count, just sleeping with anyone for whatever reason, you don't want to do that. Because when you're hurt or something happens from that situation, you're going to use those things to judge the next situation. That's not good. You're blocking your blessings, because what this might look like might not look like what that looked like. What this one look like might not look what. Hey, you get what I'm saying. Why also, you, like I said, a man don't want a woman who many men been with. But y'all can't tell me that we don't want a man that a lot of women been with. Because why was they with him? It's something he had. Which is why even now, a lot of the women want the same man. It's a reason for that. So just keep that in mind. Also, I should take the lock off of this, because I don't want to keep unlocking it. Socially, a higher body count for women can be viewed more negatively than for men, leading to potential judgment and assumptions about character or promiscuity. It has an impact on trust. Some partners might struggle with trust issues if they perceive a high body count as indicating a lack of commitment or fidelity in future relationships. Difficulty finding partners, because a lot of men do care about body count. The only thing is, now we made it seem like men are insecure, or it's wrong for a man to want to know your body count. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's absolutely not. It's wrong. If they want to know your body count, that's because they don't want someone who's been with everybody, who's taken in a lot of different bodies. That's a lot of different energy, spirits, and everything weighing heavy on that girl, which makes her less feminine, makes her, it changes her morals and values. Because if you have been with a lot of people, most likely your morals and values are not really up here. Hence why you've given your body to so many people. When you're dating or sleeping with someone, it's supposed to be with intention. I think you are shadow banned on Facebook. Why do you say that? Let me check. Let me see what it looked like on Facebook. I mean, I still see 12 people in here. Is that on YouTube? Is that from YouTube? I mean, that would be great if that's from YouTube, but 12 people is a lot from YouTube. I would have thought that would be from Facebook. Let me see what I see on here. Hello, hello. Okay, I am hello, hello. No, I hear myself on Facebook. Can you guys see me on Facebook? Can you guys let me know if you can see and hear me clearly on Facebook? Please and thank you. Cause I just clicked on it on my end and I do please and thank you. I do hear myself. Okay, I see. Hey Auntie Cynthia, thanks for joining. I see yes. I see yes. Maybe close the app and go back in. Hey sweetheart. I love you. Okay, cool. Hey, Auntie Lisa, thanks for joining. Hey, Flip, thanks for joining. Why they blocking you? Maybe you gotta click out and come back in. That's crazy. They gonna block one of the biggest supporters? That's not cool. And so y'all get me so far. Y'all getting me? It plays a huge part. Okay, so let me get into what else I was saying. My bad. Not everybody, cares about your sexual history. But like I said, I do think that it should be cared about. I truly do think it should be cared about because, like I said, a lot of women that you see are like down and depressed a lot or always speaking from bad experiences. It's probably because they have dealt and been with multiple people. I don't think that it's women who's been in several relationships, but they ain't sleeping with them people. A lot of women are sleeping with people that they just met on the first day. So, yet alone someone they in a relationship with, no, I don't, So you definitely can take in all those bad experiences and then, you're able to project now and say to someone else, no, I couldn't do that, or I couldn't be in that situation, or no, I can't date him because you have so many different situations that you have been in that you're able now to take them and judge the next. So, am I saying women with high body counts throw the whole body away just to talk about? No, I'm saying it for the future. You do not just want to give your body up so quickly and you don't even see yourself like being with this person. You don't want to have one night stands. Like, you don't want to do that stuff. Y'all move how y'all want to move. But like y'all said, or like y'all keep saying, people speak from their experiences. I'm speaking from my experience. And I think that not being sleeping with multiple people is another reason that I'm blessed in the situation I am in today. And the reason my morals and values are the way they are and play a part in a lot of different things for me. So, talked about that topic first because that takes us to relationships and obedience, which I know you guys hear the word, and me and Breezy talk about trigger words all the time. Obedience is a trigger word. Submissive is a trigger word. Okay, you hear great. Obedience, a lot of times we have these feelings behind words because of society or just what we have known them to be or ways we have heard them. Even in the definition of obey, I think one of the examples, which I'm going to pull up right now, obey comply with the command, direction, or request of a person or a law, submit to the authority of. And as you can see in the example, actually it doesn't say in this example, but the couple examples that I saw, it was like children obeying parents and like obeying the commands of God. And so you automatically look at it and be like, okay, you're not God, you're not my parent, I'm not about to obey you. But if you're in a relationship with someone and you love them, don't you desire to please them and do what it is that you need to do for that person, whatever that is? Like, you should have no problem with obeying or taking direction or instructions from someone that you love, because they should not be steering you wrong, which is another experience that people project. So they have been in a situation where someone has steered them wrong, where someone has gave them instructions or been controlling. So now they say, I can't do it. I'm not about to be controlled because you've been in a bad situation. But me or someone else who hasn't, I don't mind taking instructions, demands from my husband. What does that look like? In the beginning, no, not in the beginning, but like 13 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, Chris said, we not eating no more canned food. Or not, yeah, canned food. We're not eating no more pork. Don't buy anymore. I'm gonna be like, I can't buy no canned food. I ain't listening to you. We can't eat pork. Like, I'm not listening to you. Like, why is he saying that? He's saying that for a reason. He's saying that because pork is not good for us. He's saying that because canned food cannot, it's not that great for our health. So he has my, as well as our family, best interest by saying, we're not going to do this anymore. And since I cook the food and buy the food, it's don't buy that anymore. That is a command. Don't do this. And I have no problem with saying okay, because there's not an issue. Or what people say is, oh, that's like someone said, well, that's because, or they can understand that in our situation because I don't work and I don't make any money. So since he make all the money, then maybe I should obey him. No, this works both ways. Obedience is not just a woman obeying a man. It's the man obeying a woman as well. What does that look like? Well, hold on. Let me check my messages real quick. Something's going on. I don't know what's happening, Breezy, but you said you here now. I don't know if that message just came through or you just sent that, but I hope everyone can hear me, because I'm gonna be mad Facebook trying to shadow ban me. Man, I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh, so for example, it's my duty, as well as with the help of my children, because they all getting older now, to keep the house clean and up to certain standards. I have a crawling baby, baby who picks up stuff off the floor and put in her mouth. So no, we cannot have shoes on in the house. So we all obey that, including the husband. So Elijah, thanks for coming in. Thank you, cousin. Hey. I hope that answers your question right there. What does obey look like for a man? Well, sweetheart, please, as soon as you come in the house, take off your work shoes, because you're a mechanic and you work in the shop with oil and stuff. And I don't want that all those germs to be into the house on the floor. He's going to respect that. I'm not telling him anything wrong, and he's going to take those directions and he's going to do it. He's going to follow it because it's not like I'm saying anything wrong. Now, look at this. So if I said, don't wear your shoes into the house, I wouldn't say it like that. Even though that's what I mean, I'm going to say, sweetheart, please don't do that. Please, can you make sure you take your shoes off? It's still a direction and a command. Oh, okay, that was when you first came in. Okay. I hope it's fixed now. What else as it could look like for a man? There's, usually, I guess it could look different in every situation. But I guess usually we look at the woman listening to the man because the man is the leader. So usually he's probably going to be the one giving like instructions, directions, or things of that nature. But it should work both ways. It should work both ways. It could be, sweetheart, please, please don't throw your clothes on the floor. I don't know. Don't throw your clothes on the floor. Okay. I know you try and keep the house clean. I won't throw my clothes on the floor. And if I do, I'm going to pick them up myself or something. But someone said, well, when I think of obedience, I think of animals or like a dog or something. Do y'all think that when y'all be calling people B words or calling yourself B words when it's literally a female dog? Y'all don't think about dogs or animals then. So sometimes we got to take things for what they are and not when we just trying to make it work for us. So it's okay when we calling each other bees and calling ourselves bees to associate ourselves with animals or dogs. But when we're talking about obeying obedience, something that can make a relationship stronger, now we're talking about animals and dogs. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Why is obedience important in a relationship? Just like you have rules and laws for everything. There are rules everywhere you go. There are rules for the law. If you don't obey the rules of the road, I said this when I was talking to the children. I said this. If you don't obey the rules of the rules, and I said it again, if you don't obey the rules of the road, then there could be crashes. So just like the roads have laws, relationships should have laws as well. Because if you're not obeying laws and commands in a relationship, then there's chaos. There's no structure. So take your feelings out of the word, and you will have no problem with obeying your significant other if you know that they have your best interests. Stop being quick to hop on. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this. Like, don't look at it in such a negative light. Take the word. Words have meanings. Words have meanings. And so, once again, obey means comply with the command, direction, or request. Submit to the authority of. Okay? Obedience in a relationship is important. And as well as to God. What does obedience to God look like? Well, that's why I feel like I was blessed with a successful relationship, because I've been obedient, past, beyond, before my relationship. I, as a young girl, as a teenager, so actually, I don't want to get into no super stories, but I used to tell on myself. So, for example, when I started going around my Hill cousins and Hill family, we used to be in the car and we used to be listening to music, or we were in the car and listening to music. Now, my mama didn't let me listen to like all kind of songs. She didn't. Hot in Here, I couldn't listen to Nelly Hot in Here. So when I was with my Hill cousins and they was listening to Hot in Here, I told them you gotta turn this off. I can't listen to this. And they all started laughing at me. I went home and I told my mama, like, I was listening to Out of Here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did that. I'm sorry. And so I've always been one to stick, I have to say, and by no way, since everyone have said so many times, you think you perfect or you think your situation is perfect. I do not for any way think that I am not perfect. However, as a young girl, I always tried to do the right thing. And if I didn't, I told on myself really quick. I really did. That's funny though. And so, yes, obedience is very important in a relationship. If you are not obeying and listening to the commands or directions that your significant other is giving you, then most likely that tends to a lack of respect. If you tell me or ask me or instruct me to do something and I don't do it, then I'm lacking respect for you. Now, if you ask me or tell me to do something and I say, well, I don't understand why you want it this way, that's not lacking respect. But if you simply just not gonna do it, then that does. When you lack respect in a relationship, it's falling apart. It's falling apart. Okay? It's definitely falling apart. Okay. So yes, we to cover 2 topics super fast in 40 minutes. Y'all got anything to say? They damn sure don't. Absolutely. I think you're talking about the B word. They don't be thinking about an animal and stuff then. I think that's what you're talking about. But yes, y'all got anything to say? Talk to me. Last show, which already made it to 1.1K views. That might not be nothing to y'all because I know y'all, get on live and be fighting and doing drama stuff. Fighting, negative stuff, arguing, always get tons of views. When you're on here doing something positive, trying to teach about different situations and topics, you don't get a lot of views. So 1.1K views for a Fire Talk episode is great for me. I greatly appreciate it. That makes me happy. And it had over, I think, 200 comments. So let's get those comments rolling in. Tell me what you guys are thinking. How do you feel about obedience in a relationship? Is it a trigger word for you to obey or the word obedient? How do you feel? Thank you, sister. Thank you. How does that word make you guys feel? Or is it not a problem? I remember somebody, I ain't gonna get into that. I think I actually said that already anyway, so. But yes, so now, if you guys don't got nothing to say about that, I'm gonna go into, actually had 235 comments, 1.1K views. That was a big show. And guess what? You know why I had that many views? Because I was going over some drama stuff. And you guys probably saw my posts for the last couple days. And I was going to go through and I was going to read all the drama stuff. So let's go back to body count. Real quick. Someone said, it don't matter that I only been with one person. But the fact that I slept with him multiple times and we're not legally married raises my body count. Like, what? That was so funny. I was like, be for real. But yeah, so I was going to go through the comments because I like going through the comments because you guys be, trying to make it seem like I be getting defensive or like I don't want to hear about nobody else's experience or that's the whole reason I make the post. But guess what? You guys go and delete your comments. Someone who had over 30 comments on there went and deleted all of them. And so, maybe that was God. Maybe that was a conscience, like, man, I know that wasn't the right thing. Let me go ahead. I hope that's what it was. But if it wasn't, hey, they gone anyway. That has to come from a real liar. Obedience is definitely a trigger word in this society. Yes, it is. Can y'all think of any more trigger words? What's another trigger word? I surely do think submissive is a trigger word. Can y'all think of any other trigger words? Ignorant. If someone call you ignorant, that's a trigger. But ignorant means lacking the knowledge. I am ignorant when it comes to politics. I lack the knowledge of anything, politic talk, what's going on in the politician world. So I'm ignorant to that. If you know that ignorant means lack of knowledge, that won't really defend you unless you feel like, yeah, I do know about this and someone calling you ignorant. Then yeah, but just to simply say you ignorant, you really don't have the knowledge in that topic or whatever it is that you're talking about, then no, that shouldn't be a trigger word. So yeah, there are a lot of trigger words. There are a lot, but which is why understanding the meaning of words are very important, because they shape your beliefs. They help how you communicate. If you don't understand what a word means, then the way you feel about it could be completely wrong, or the way you feel about a topic using that word can be completely wrong. For example, license, a permit from an authority to own or use something. Permit from an authority to own or use something. Also, government permission to perform a particular act, like getting married, conduct a particular business or occupation, operate machinery or vehicles after proving ability to do so safely, or use property for a certain purpose. The certificate that proves one has been granted authority to do something under governmental license. A private grant or right to use real property for a particular purpose, such as putting on a concert. A private grant of the right to use something intellectual property, such as patent or musical composition. To grant permission by governmental authority or private agreement. So tell me, why do you guys think that I care, or anyone who else feels the way that I feel about a marriage license, want to ask for permission from the government on whether they could get married? Like, why are you asking permission? You guys just had a problem with obey in that word, but you have no problem with going to ask permission from the government or the state to whether you can marry someone? See how that works? It only works when it works for you. And if it doesn't, then you find something wrong with it. So we don't want to obey. I ain't obeying nobody. We go against obedience in a relationship with someone you love. But in the same sense, we'll go ask permission from a government and state who has nothing to do with your marriage to marry the person you love. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. We need to unlearn and relearn, because you should not need a permission. Oh, well, you got a driver's license. Well, guess what? You could rescind your driver's license as well. That's another process that, they make it hard for you to do these things. But it's not hard if you hadn't got it done already. You just don't do it. And then you learn the laws, you learn the rules, and you obey those. And there's ways around that. But if you already did it, which I already have a driver's license, I didn't have the knowledge I have now, because if I did, I probably wouldn't have a driver's license either. You have to have a license for fish. You have to have a license to do this. You have to have a license for many of things because America is a corporation. Your name is a corporation. And everything is a business with them, and they don't want nothing going on if they not a part of it. You got to ask permission from the state to get a divorce as well. The state is the head of the relationship between the husband and wife. Facts. Thank you for that, sweetheart. So not only do you got to ask them, can I marry this person that I love? You have to also ask them when you're ready to get a divorce. And guess what? Some people actually got to go through parenting classes to get a divorce. Certain type of classes just for them to grant the divorce. When you're ready to up and leave someone, why you want to wait for someone to, you know what you've been through. That's obviously why you're trying to get a divorce. Why you want to have to ask permission from the state to get a divorce? That makes no sense. We got to unlearn and relearn. Unlearn and relearn. Someone said that, oh, well, getting a marriage license, you know, is obeying the laws of the land. God said, obey the laws of the land, not the same thing. Not
Freedom to practice religion. The founders of the United States of America put the Word of God above any and all of man's laws. In fact, the laws of the land were subject to the Bible first and foremost because of the First Amendment right in the United States Constitution. When a couple signs a marriage license, they give up their God-given right in exchange for a privilege from the state. Keep in mind, a privilege can be revoked or changed at any point. A right is unshakable. The people are well served in holding on to their God-given rights. What is also noteworthy is the idea that the absolute legal authority of the United States of America is the Constitution. The President, Congress, and Supreme Court are all subject to this authority, the law of the land. The First Amendment of the Constitution is the idea of freedom of religion and freedom of speech. If the religious doctrine I follow indicates that one can be married without a marriage license, then in a very real sense of the law, I can be legally married with a valid, lawful marriage. It is time to take a stand. Please say no to the marriage license. Let's give our marriages back to God.
Which is why when you hear that saying, why when you get that piece of paper, it seems like things go wrong. Well, there's many reasons I feel like things go wrong when you get that piece of paper. One, you are going against what's natural. God gave you the right, or men and women, the right to marry. But yeah, you said, skip what you said, God. Skip what you said. I'm going to go ask the state for permission to get married. You're taking God out of it. Anywhere in that marriage license that you signed or application, it states God nowhere. So most people say, well, we know that God is at the top, so I don't care that it don't say that in the marriage license. But when someone who don't got a marriage license say, we know we got God at the top and God is our witness, now that don't matter because we don't got the paper. Make it make sense. I have a marriage license. I don't think there's nothing wrong with having one. How is that asking permission? And who gets married with the thought of getting a divorce? That's not the plan. It benefits for my marriage having. Well, of course, no one goes into a marriage. You see, wait, you see how this works though? You see, you're not thinking about getting a divorce, and I commend you on that. Because if you've been on any, okay, maybe you haven't, but a lot of people in different situations, for example, in my post that I've been posting, say, well, what happens if he dies? What happens if he dumps you? I'm not thinking about that. Who goes into a relationship or a marriage with someone thinking, what if he dumps you or what if he dies? Just like you said, you have a marriage license. You didn't go into that thinking about getting a divorce. So I'm glad you say that, because it works the other way as well. No, you don't go into something thinking the worst. while you're going to be prepared for anything that can happen, you don't want to think the worst. You did have to get permission. That's why you did an application. When you do an application for a job, you're asking them to work there and for them to hire you. When you're getting a marriage license, you're applying for them to give you a license, which is a permission. So that's why you might not understand, which is why we going over the words of what a license is. And a license is a permit from an authority to own or use something or to do a particular thing. And a marriage license is a legal document that gives a couple permission to marry. So, that's not what I'm saying. That's what it is, That's what it is. That's why I say we have to unlearn and relearn, because we don't know these things. That's not our fault, You don't know, but that's why it's good to know and it's good to learn. And it's not good to shoot down when somebody else be trying to say something. I'm not talking to you per se, Flip. Just talking about anybody who don't even really truly understand. So yes, you have to get permission. You have to get permission. And if you get a divorce, they have to actually grant the divorce and give you permission to divorce. You can't just say, I want a divorce, and they say, okay. No, it's a process, and you have to let them approve that divorce. So when you're signing a marriage license, nowhere on that application or in that marriage license, it has nothing to do with God or say anything about God, because God is taken out of that.
Look at the terms and conditions. As much as Christians want to tell themselves God is a part of the state marriage license covenant, he is not. He has zero, zilch, nothing to do with this voluntary adhesion contract. God is not considered, mentioned, or welcomed in any capacity. He is not named anywhere in the terms, conditions, or paperwork. Here are some questions that need to be asked pertaining to marriage and the state's involvement. Since when did marriage become a business proposition with a state institution? Isn't marriage simply about defining a private relational status between two people? How can God be a part of any contract that he is not even mentioned in? What can be done about these realities?
God ain't even mentioned. God ain't even mentioned. And actually, a marriage license is ungodly because it's not of God. And so you guys know that I homeschool. And if you guys also be on my page, you know that I have said that I'm not big on the Bible. The only reason I ever reference the Bible is from the small things that I know, or because someone referenced the Bible. And so, part of our homeschool lesson has been Bible study. We have started reading the Bible from the beginning. And so, to understand something, you have to read it multiple times, especially something like the Bible. It gets so confusing. I was so confused this morning listening to Chris read the Bible. We all looking at each other like, what? God made us in the image, or God made man in the image of, I think it said us, but we like, who is us? And I guess, anyways. But why was I saying that? Oh, so then it said he made Eve from Adam's rib, and that was his wife. And then it said, I don't know if it was Cain or Abel, but I don't know. It said sweetheart, help me out. It said, I don't know. It just seems like in the Bible that a man was given a woman, and then it was his wife. Soon as he bare kids with her or had sex with her, it was his wife. It don't say nothing about anything. It said when a man and woman become one. So all this stuff that y'all be talking about, I be so confused. Like, what are you guys talking about? It don't say nothing about, oh, no, God. Nowhere was the state even anywhere in the Bible. But that was their wife. But hey, y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. Tell me what's going on. Tell me why marriage license is nowhere mentioned in the Bible. Tell me why they was just meeting, giving women, and they was just their wife. They skip out on the marriage license. They didn't mention it. No, because marriage license wasn't created till after 1800s, and I believe 1913 in America, to be exact. Yes, that is the case. So, like on the post, when someone was stating that sex is marriage, it's not just, because I think it was the point was being argued on there that you have sex, how could marriage mean, you just have sex with the person, where if you have sex outside of marriage, it's a sin. When you, a man and woman, become one, produce, they are married. I mean, like I said, I am not big on the Bible, but I do know how to interpret it, comprehend what it's been saying, and what I can comprehend what it's not been saying. So especially if you're in a situation like I am, who only been with one person and bear children with that person and only that person, and been together 19 years, this is, whether you guys want to believe it or not, this is actually the true biblical definition of a marriage, not America's definition of a marriage. No. Nope. The girl with the high body count is not married to all the guys. She's not married to all the guys. Especially if she ain't even had children with the guys. But that's why, have you ever heard they say, like, you only truly married to the first person that you slept with? And then everybody else after that, really, biblically, I mean, do a little research. You will see that. I'm not sure if you have heard it, but it says that you're usually married to the first person you ever gave your virginity to, for the woman. So, no, she ain't married to everybody she done slept with. So, yeah. The whole marriage license thing, like I said, if I gotta put a different word on it, I don't know. But like I said, from my understanding, and the little bit I do know about the Bible, from my understanding that my grandmother is a biblical, all about her Bible. We went over these verses many of times. This way of marriage that you guys are thinking is America's way of marriage, not God's way. And when you step away from God and not obedient to God and not following God and what he says, then that's when things can go astray. So that's why I feel like when some people get that piece of paper, that, things fall apart. Also, now the woman, which in most cases, not all cases, most cases, the man is the breadwinner. Now, when you got a marriage license and there's incentives for you, like someone mentioned, said for me, maybe for your instance, since you don't work at all, if we had a marriage license and we got a divorce, I would be able to take a lot of things from Chris because he's the one who bears most of the stuff. And so I would be able to get half of everything. So that is an incentive. So when people have relationships and marriages and there's incentives to divorce, a man is going to try to hold down that marriage as long as possible because he don't want to lose nothing from divorcing, and a woman is going to be quick to disrespect or do stuff because she has leverage or an incentive to leave because of the divorce and what she can get. It's okay. We can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree. It's cool. I just say that, you don't always listen to what someone else saying. Do your own research. Do your own research. And then another thing is go and look at the terms and conditions of a marriage license. Because if you have a birth certificate or a marriage license, it automatically gives the state the ward over your children. All our children got, not just all mine, but all y'all children too got birth certificates. That is why the state can come in and take your kids if you're doing something that you're not supposed to do, because they are a ward of those children. And then when you marry it, you just double up on it. They're a ward and in control over everything produced from that marriage. Assets as well as children. I got a question. How do you guys do medical insurance? So you have domestic partnership insurance you can do. Some jobs it does not require that you be legally married to do that. That all can depend on your job. Or a woman, you might just get insurance through your own job, or you just have to get insurance out of pocket. That's how it goes for a lot of situations, because believe it or not, a lot of people are together and not legally married. So look up like domestic partnership insurance. You could look a little bit more into that and see what that is. Patrice Ellis, thank you for joining. Make sure you guys like and share the live. Thank you. Okay, so I guess that would carry us. Let me see. Do I got anything else to say about the marriage license? Nope. Everybody's situation looks different. And something else, like I said before, you don't always have to just put on the person like, well, what if this happens? What if this happens? Like I said, look into trust and will, because they say, well, the next of kin can come take everything. Well, if you have a trust, you guys know that you could have trust and you could put all of your assets in a trust. And then you make someone else, because usually a trust, you cannot be if you create a trust, you cannot be the beneficiary of the trust. So you make someone else the beneficiary. So a man can create a trust, put all the assets in it, whether it's a house, a car, the kids, and everything, check account, bank account, and then he can make the woman the beneficiary, meaning she's the only one allowed to change or do anything in the trust. You also have power of attorney. She or he, whoever you make the power of attorney, is able to make medical decisions, because they say, if something's happening to your significant other and they're like on their deathbed, you don't have to say so, if you guys are not legally married. But that's why preparing may not look like, okay, make sure we have a marriage license in these cases. Preparing can look like having someone power of attorney, a will, all of those things are important. You guys have to remember, what did Finding Dory say? There is always another way. And I say that because, I just saw Finding Dory for the first time. My kids watched it the other day, and I really liked that movie. That was such a cute movie. But there's always another way. There always is another way. Just because the popular way and the way that they want, it to be, because they're a part of it, don't mean that it's the only way. If I'm asking your situation, if you don't mind sharing. I do mind sharing. I mean, I do mind sharing. I have learned what to give out now, because it's not about getting defensive about something. It's the only way people have been able to use something against me is because of my information that I have given out. So yes, I mind sharing. But like I said, you can look into domestic partnership. That might give you a little bit more of an idea. When your daughters get older and she wants to get married, get a marriage license, would you steer her away from that or let her do what she wants? I will let her do what she wants. I will let her do what she wants. However, growing up and seeing us in the situation that we're in, I think she's already looking in and having insight on that. The whole thing is to break generational curses. To me, a marriage license is a generational curse that's been passed down since it's been created. We break generational curses, which is why our children are homeschooled, which is why we do things a lot different. When I say a lot different, I mean, guys, there's so much stuff I could say. Like, one, there is no money. So when you guys are saying like about taxes and things like that, there is no money. But you guys gonna laugh at me if I say that and be like, what you mean? I get paid every week. What you mean? I got paper dollars in my pocket right now. But if you knew the definition of money, the real definition, and if you knew the only money that America ever considered was gold and silver, and there is no gold and silver, there is no money. Like I said, that's a whole nother conversation. Even when I just said that 3 people left alive, like, that is something you guys have to realize. All I say is research this. If you look at your bills, if you look at your social security card, if you look at anything that comes in the mail with your name on it, it's going to be all capital letters, because your name is a corporation. That is a corporation. That is not the living you. It's a corporation. You guys, I know I probably lost you and you're probably laughing, but just do a research. If you take away anything from this live, go research why everything you get with your name on it is in all capital letters. Boundaries, exactly. I'm learning. But like I said, some information I don't mind telling, like the marriage license, because I already told it. And I think it's very beneficial for people to stop getting marriage licenses. And if you have one, you can get it rescinded, which means void. Take it away. If anyone, that's just something else. Why not just do it the right way if there's nothing wrong with it? Or if you're talking about marriage license, it's not the right way. It's actually the ungodly way. It's nowhere mentioned in the Bible. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, but if it is what you're talking about, it's not the right way. You should not have to go get permission from the state to marry someone you love. And that's exactly what a marriage license is. It's permission. They're trading it on all. Patrice Ellis, you know something. You know something. You know something. Good. You know what? That is very great. It's not a lot of people who know this information. I commend you for knowing that. I commend you. Dollar isn't worth nothing. It sure isn't. It sure is not. Dollars are actually just debt. It's basically like IOUs. And if you actually study the physical picture of the dollar, you will see more. Do you guys know that a dollar is a Federal Reserve note? Like, I don't know. Yep, Patrice Ellis said. Did you know that when you sign a mortgage as well, you sign a promissory note and your house is paid for the moment you're doing your mortgage? Did you know that? You would think realtors and people would tell you this information, but they don't be knowing either. The moment you sign a mortgage, you have a promissory note. And when you sign that promissory note, you pay for your mortgage. But guess what? You know how when you got that big stack of papers that you have to sign at a mortgage closing? You know how you got that big stack of papers? A few papers after signing the promissory note, you basically give the house right back over to the lender. Go research. Go research. Please go do your research. Girl, hush. They don't know about it. They don't. And we need to unlearn and relearn. We really do need to unlearn and relearn. Because these are important things. Like, we're literally working to pay bills that's already paid for. But if you don't know the laws, then you can't really reap the benefits of it. So that's another reason why when it say, like, what are you going to do if Chris dies? What are you going to do if he leaves you? My husband instilled knowledge in me. He did. Nothing school ever taught me. He taught me. When I say he is a true leader, he is a true leader. Because he's instilled knowledge into me that, like I said, I will be able to take care of this home without leaving my house if he decided to walk away or something bad happened. Why is it ungodly to get a marriage license? It's not permission. They're not for. Yes, it is permission. We went over license. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be defensive. I'm not trying to argue, but we went over license, and the license is permission. Just like when you get a driver's license, you have to go and they have to grant you that. They have to give you that. You can't just go there and say, give me my license. I deserve this. No, there's qualifications. They have to give you permission, grant you to have that license. It's the same with a marriage license. Let's not this is if you don't understand, you got to go do your own research. I gave you the root of it. I gave you the base of it. We just went over what a license is. We just went over that. I meant yours. What you mean? I don't know. Let me read the font. Maybe let me finish reading it. Why is it ungodly to get a marriage license? It's not permission. They're not forcing us to get married. It's up to us to get married. We pay for the certificate, but we get married in church or something. Who is ordained to marry you? I'm so confused. I went over it. You might gotta rewatch the live. You might gotta rewatch the live because I don't want to go over it again. And I've been over this so many times through posts, through comments, through the live now, through other lives before. So yeah, you just got to go research. Like I said, look at what the license is, and then look at what marriage is, and then look at what a marriage license is. You take a test to get any license. You pay, then it becomes yours. Or you fill out an application. Because you don't take a test for a marriage license. You fill out an application. There are certain requirements and things that it has to be. Mind you, that's the only reason a marriage license was ever created. So you weren't marrying your cousins. Really, that's why marriage license was ever really created. It had nothing to do with tax benefits or any of that. It's so you were not marry your family, your sister, your brother, or your cousin. That's really why it was created from the beginning. Definitely Patrice Ellis. Now, girl, you know some stuff. You know some stuff. And so, yeah, so I guess that brings us into our last topic since we're talking about marriage and obedience and all of those things. So the last topic was a topic that I saw on the host of I Just Want to Talk post. And it has said that society has created the narrative for women to be bosses more than wives. And I'm going to take that further to not only be bosses more than wives, but also to work versus just being a wife and staying at home. I have proposed a question many years ago. If your husband could provide everything for you and take care of everything financially, and it will only be an option for you to work, would you take that? Would you want to be a stay-at-home mom or wife? And people say no. There's been many women that say, "No, I want my own money. I don't want to depend on nobody. I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to do that." You know, once again, you either saw someone who's been through that or you have been through it yourself. But yes, we have women now who says stuff like, "I would rather go to work and have a career than just sit at home and be a mom." What? Do you know a mother is the highest thing a woman could be? You guys reference the Bible, but don't really be referencing the Bible. It says, "Be fruitful and multiply." You are a woman. You are a healer. You are a nurturer. You're supposed to have babies. That's the highest thing a woman could be. And you say just a mom? Do you know how important? That's the most important job in the world. I don't think it's for the benefits. It's to show proof of marriage, just like signing a lease to own a home or a car. I mean, okay, but there's other ways you can show proof of marriage. You don't need to have a marriage license. You need proof of anything to show ownership, just like a child you don't need a birth certificate. You don't need a birth certificate. See, that's where you don't need these things. You don't need these things. We don't know that. You don't need these things. Like I said, having a birth certificate is the reason why DCFS can come take your children. Because you gave them ward over your children. You don't need a birth certificate. We don't know that. You don't need a social security card. Well, how will I ever work? We ain't supposed to be working. But guess what? This information is not for everybody, because if everyone knew this, then who's going to work the gas stations? Who's going to work at the grocery stores? That's why sometimes messages aren't for everybody. You need some people to still be the sheep and still do the stuff so the world can run the way it runs. I be agreeing with most. You got to say, get more versed when you talk to. I be agreeing with most, but you got to get more versed when you talk about the Bible stuff. You know, which is why I say I don't really, I don't reference the Bible. But, when I'm making a point and people like use the Bible, the only verses I be using are the ones that people have used. Like you said one, God said, "Don't judge." But I don't think that was the end of the quote. But since I don't know, I ain't even going to say nothing about it. But I don't think that was the end of the quote. Because I think it said more something like, "Don't judge if you don't want to be judged." Maybe not in them exact words, but something like that. And guess what? I don't mind being judged, especially when it comes to the topic that we were talking about, body count. Like I said, I don't got a high body count, so you could judge. I could be judged all I want for a topic like that. I was joking with that one, and that's why it's important that I come on live and be on video, because you don't know how stuff are, and you don't know how things come off in messages. So like I said, people be saying I be defensive or I be this one. Really, I don't. I'm a really nice person. But the joke went over my head. That's my fault. What does the Bible say? I'm versed enough to guide to scripture. Yeah, I would. Okay, maybe it's time to open up the floor. Y'all come tell me what the Bible say. Because guess what? I am a very accountable person. And I love to learn. And I'm willing to learn. I'll learn from anyone. Because like I said, you can learn from someone in many different ways. So, explain to me, because I didn't read all the Bible verses about marriage, at least from what, I could point out from the Bible. And, I actually had a few Let me see. Let me see if I pull it up real quick. You know, I be trying to get away from the marriage license, but a lot of people like talking about the marriage license. And you know why? Because a lot of people have one. So it's like, man, like you kind of be like, you kind of stand up for it because you got one. And so, yeah, it's just a popular conversation. We're not going to talk religious. We're going to talk reality. Everything not about the Bible we speaking on society do all of us, plus our children have a birth certificate, social security now. We don't have to talk religious. That's why I be so confused when y'all say I'm not married. We don't got to talk religious. We don't got to talk laws. Just take my relationship as proof. Like, how can common law marriage be a thing, but just because it's not here, like now it just goes out the window? Like the fact that the time gets set back and forward in certain states, but not all states, is crazy to me, which means it's irrelevant to begin with. So the fact that some states don't even require a marriage license to be married makes it irrelevant to me all the way around, because what's the difference? The fact that weed is legal in some states, but not others, is insane, because the whole thing should just be thrown out, because it can't be right here and wrong there. It's either right all the way around or it's either wrong all the way around. A marriage license is not required in some states, and they go common law marriage, but some states it is. That's weird. The time changes in some states, but it don't in some. That's weird. That's all weird to me. Where exactly are enemies of the state? And it's just business stuff. They just want to be a part of everything. Everything. Literally. I posted under her status. Give me a second. Yeah, I think I might be able to go to it real quick. Anybody want to hop on the live? I will post the link in the comments. I'm actually going to post it now in the comments. Anybody want to hop on the live? Oops, let me turn it down. A little fun fact. I do not go back and watch my videos over because I do not like to hear my voice. I do not like to hear my voice. So when I just heard it now, I was like, oh, it was like super cringe. I posted the link in a comment. You know, 4 to 5 people could get up here. So feel free to get up on here and have the conversation with me. And in the meantime, I'm going to go find that. I'm going to go find what brand Breezy is talking about. If you have Safari, it might be a little bit challenging. If you have iPhone or Safari, you might have to it might work, or you might have to go through Google or Chrome and post the link. Let me see. Did you post it on this one, Breezy? Oh no, you posted under the body count one. So tell me how the whole body count post turned into a marriage post. That's why I be saying, people be like, you be getting defensive, but y'all turned the whole body count post into me not being legally married post. It had nothing to do with that. Okay, so some quotes. Marriage is a covenant, not just a contract. It is a sacred, lifelong commitment made before God. Genesis 2:24. That is why man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. And say he take a trip to the courthouse, get a marriage license on the way after he left his dad to his mom. Malachi 2:14. The Lord is the witness between you and the wife of your youth. You have been unfaithful to her, though she is your partner, the wife of your marriage covenant. between a man and woman. A biblical marriage is defined as the union of one man and one woman. Matthew 19:4-5. Haven't you read, he replied, that at the beginning the Creator made them male and female, and said, for this reason a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. Marriage is meant to unite the couple physically, emotionally, and spiritually. It symbolizes deep intimacy and shared purpose. Hence, Genesis 2:24, and they become one flesh. For this reason, a man will leave his... Okay, I read that one. Husbands, love your wives as just Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her to make her holy, cleansing her by the washing with water through word. However, so it's a whole bunch of, if you go under the body count post, you will see a bunch of posts. I don't know if that's what you were asking about, Flip, and I don't know if that was what Breezy was about to show you. But I believe those are the verses that he's talking about that he posted under the body count post. We are all entitled to our own beliefs to how you live this here thing we call life. Yep, I agree. How do you become one to become a wife? Someone help me understand. What I got from that is become one. Have sex, come together, be one. That's what I got from that. But it's not even more so the stuff that I'm seeing said is what I don't see being said. Like I said, nowhere's a marriage license mentioned in the Bible, and nowhere on the marriage license is God mentioned. They don't work together at all. They actually go against each other. So then, if you don't think it's about sex, I said, that's what I think about. Tell me what you think it's about. What do you mean? What do you think it means become one? Because if anything, that's what I thought. But if it's not that, then what is it? Is it become one? Me and Chris have came together as one for 19 years and had 5 children and have a covenant, a contract with each other and God. Become one, doing your duty by one another. Okay, and that's more like, the contract. Something of value, a whole and a whole come together as one. Like I said, y'all get on here, come talk to me. Don't leave me up here talking about myself. Come on here. Because one is letting your husband lead and you follow and you joining each other in agreement. Okay. I can agree with you seeing that. I wouldn't, go against that. Because I think that's, like I said, I think it's the husband and woman coming together, becoming one, making a contract, having a covenant, a union together. And we went over covenant, like when God was talking about his covenant with Noah. I forgot it already, but it's 9:05. I wish my sweetheart would come on here, but if you're on here, sweetheart, you should take lunch early and come on, be a guest. But yeah, so while you guys are talking about that in the comments, or if nobody's going to come on, I'm going to go to the wife being bosses. Like, I just think that in today's society, we try so much to be like the men or be equal to the men that we try to do everything that they do. So we know that they be bosses, so we got to be bosses too. There are a lot of married people who are not one with their mate. And that's what I be saying, cousin, because that's what I'm saying. Like, people will argue that a couple who don't got a marriage license is not married for real, even though that the couple that got the marriage license don't even really be liking each other. They're not one, and they can't stand each other. You know, it's funny. Like, someone actually said that in the comments, that they're married and she can't stand her husband. And people love that comment. But it's just like, you know, at this point, like I said, someone sent me a message and said, I think you should just make a post so everyone can get their feelings out about you. I was just like, cause yeah, I just think y'all be going at me on, I don't know why. You're doing great. I'm tuned in. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. That feels so good to hear. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I thank you guys for tuning in. While you're in here, please make sure you like the live. It's 12 people in here and 6 likes. So, and I don't know. Let me see how many people these people are from Facebook, because I am on YouTube as well. So, not all the views are coming from Facebook, which is pretty cool because it's hard to get views on YouTube. Oh, but it won't tell me on Facebook. I personally think women try to be like men because they want to be a boss. I personally don't think women try to be like men because they want to be a boss. It's about self-satisfaction. Nobody wants to be a boss to be in competition with the next. But then that's what I'm saying. You know, as women, you know, now let's say you single, you coming up, you young, okay, maybe. But if you're a mother, self-satisfaction should mean that, you know, I'm in control, I'm the boss at this company. That's what I'm saying. Women seek satisfaction outside their house, into a place where they're replaceable. They could be replaced in no time. But at home, it's like, well, I'm just a mom. A mom is higher than a boss at a job, at a workplace. So the self-satisfaction, you shouldn't be getting self-satisfaction from being a boss in a workplace and looking at like being a mom is just a mom. If you get what I'm saying. And some people have jobs or careers that they might have wanted to be a doctor ever since they were younger. They might want to be a lawyer ever since they were younger. And that's cool. But you can't have a family and put your career up top first. And that's another reason why marriages can tend, and I meant to write down a statistic of marriages failing for that reason. Because the husband is looking for you to, he's not looking for your money or for you to be taking care of the house. And some will call it insecure if he doesn't really care that you make more than him. But that's not insecure. You are taken away from his purpose of being a provider and leader of the family by outdoing him. And then lacking or slacking on your job in the house. Which takes me to gender roles, which wasn't a topic, but I strongly believe in gender roles. I believe in gender roles. A lot of people don't. But like I said, just with the marriage license, or just when you do things that's like doesn't align with nature, things tend to fall apart. So a woman out working, being a boss, requires a lot of time, requires the mental capacity to be able to deal with that requires the strength, not just physically being able to get up and, you know, keep up with the job and come home and keep up with the house, but it takes you out of your feminine energy by trying to be a boss in a workplace. You know, like we see men come home, they be tired from work and it's been a long day, and somehow we want to go to work too and do the same thing. Like, I learned my lesson. Not again. God made us all equally yoked. As long as it's under his name and he gets the praise out, it's all good to me. It's love no matter what. Equally yoked. Okay. I think that, but it has to be balanced. You could be equally yoked, but a balance. You know, a balance. It has to be a balance. You guys can't both bring the same things to a relationship. Like, that's what I'm saying. Why the whole 50-50? Like, why are men like why do you, a woman should come into a relationship wanting the man to be a provider, because we don't supposed to both bring the same qualities to the relationship. Like, we don't both supposed, if that makes sense. Yes, especially being married, women tends to venture at workplaces. What do you mean? Like, venture, talk to other people? Only wife duties. Only wifely duties. Okay. But yes, I do think that, back to gender roles, I do think that it's hard for a woman to be, I think, yes, the man should be the provider and the woman should be taking care of the home. Otherwise, if you guys are both out working, who's taking care of the children? Who's taking care of the home? Someone's going to be tired for trying to do both. Working as a team does not mean that you guys both bring in money. That is just not the only thing that looks like teamwork. Your husband can work, like, some, you know, depending on your job, you know, some men might have to work multiple jobs to be able to provide for the household. Some don't. But one thing I do know is they don't want to work and be the provider, then come home and have to take care of the home as well as the children. So that's where the woman comes into place. You don't have to worry about going out and provide for the bills in the house and financially. You take care of the home, because if I had to do that, I'm going to be more tired and not have the energy that I need to have to go to work. That's working as a team, because the woman doesn't have to worry about going to work and still coming home and doing her mother and wifey duties. That's all she has to focus on. And the man don't have to go to work and still come home and do stuff in the house and take care of the children. That's a balance. That's teamwork. It doesn't mean that you got to bring 50 and I got to bring 50. And you don't raise a home or family just by taking care of it financially. It's a whole bunch of other stuff that matters and plays a part. So teamwork just doesn't look like you guys both providing financially. Great point. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Even though I don't know which point you was talking about. Anybody want to come on? Do I need to post the link in the comments again? Because now I'm ready to open up the floor, because I pretty much done all the talking. I didn't really go a whole lot into the women want to be bosses. I just think that's what, you know, we came to. That's just the modern day woman now. We have the rights to have jobs now and things, and so that's what a lot of women want. And they'll rather do that than be a stay-at-home mom and a wife. One, I think it's easier, honestly. Like I said, and you know, I've had this debate before, being a stay-at-home mom is harder. But she wasn't crying or anything. Come here. Live. Say hi. Say hi. Now. So yeah. Yes, I've been saying this for years. A woman shouldn't have to work. A man only have one responsibility: work and bills. Or should I say two? A woman have a million of jobs as a wife and mother. Men have a lot of jobs too, because even if they're not taking care of the home and the kids, they still gotta, they gotta be in safety and protection mode. They have to take care. You ain't cutting the grass and fixing stuff around the house. They still have to fix things. Here you come messing with my light and stuff. Why you messing with the light? Daddy on there. Say hi, Dada. Oh, you're so sweet. Give me a kiss. Thank you. Hi, Dada. But yes, I did it. I went to work, and guess what? You want milk? Okay, let me turn off my camera for a second, guys. I went to work, and it was because I wanted less duties at home. I was getting tired. I felt like I was like, it's too much. I don't want to do everything at home. Let me get out the house and go to work. And then I got out the house and went to work, and I'm like, no, I want to come home. I don't like this. I'm not built for this. And so, yes, I do think that being out the house and not having to take care of all the household responsibilities, because now when a woman is out the house working too, now you could say to the husband, okay, well, you got to help. Now I don't got to do this all by myself, because you got to help too, because we both working. And so, or if the woman is the breadwinner and the husband's a stay-at-home dad and he's doing all the stuff, naturally the woman's going to start to lose respect for the man. The woman's going to start to lose respect and she's going to gain respect for the man at her job that she see working and stuff, because it might not be intentional, but that's just the way it goes. It's natural. He's at home playing the mother's role. You're going to look at him a little different, and you're going to have a little less respect for him. And now your conversations is going to be like, well, why didn't you take care of this? I've been at work all day. That's where the respect levels start going down a little. And so, yeah, I just think that when you go against the roles, I think that's when things start to kind of get a little hectic, or there's chaos, which is why we have our roles, which is why there's a balance. There should be a balance to everything. You need the feminine, you need the masculine. They each have roles and they each play a part. And when they come together, that's the balance and that's the teamwork. If you guys know what I'm saying. But yes. We went over a lot of stuff, and I really hope that you guys took some stuff away from this live. Like I said, please go look up why everything that you get in the mail and all your bills and everything is in all capital letters. Please do that. If that's something you could take away, please go research the marriage license. Look at the terms and conditions and what the state has control over now that you have a marriage license. As women, we take a lot and we go through a lot. As for single mothers, children, school, dating, being judged, we take on the world and still don't get what we deserve. And you know what? I think that's a that's a self thing. It might be something that's within self that needs to be worked on. Because now, I know you're not talking about all women, but there are some women who don't have to go through all of that. I got what I deserve. I manifested this life. I created it. And like I said, take it all the way back to the root. Being very promiscuous can play a part in that. Having multiple or many failed relationships can play a part in that. Having high expectations when you don't really how should I say, having high expectations, but what are you bringing to the table? Things like that can play a part in why women feel like they judge and they don't get what they deserve. And women do take on a lot, but so do men, including women bashing them all the time, not really respecting them at all, going up against them, trying to outdo them. And it's a lot more that I could name, but you guys will tell me I'm bashing women, even though I'm just standing up for men, because I have great men around me. So I stand up for men. If I go down my timeline, everybody be bashing men. Bash, 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 bash. They already got to go against fight the world, have long days at work. They don't want to come home and fight with the black woman too. They don't. Not only do they black women that they got to fight with, women period. They don't even got to be they women. Women period be going against men. And so, Messiah, turn that down, please. So yes, we have to make sure we're very supportive and uplifting of each other, women of men, men of women. And that's what I wanted to say too. Another reason you have to understand where women coming from. Men have it easy. I don't see why you don't understand where women are coming from. Men don't have it hard. They cool. Men know what they want. Men stand on what they want. We the ones who will be repeatedly hurt and keep going through it. We the one who will keep taking on a situation like that, giving the person another chance. The man won't. You do something, most likely you gone. He leaving you. They know they worth and they stand on it, and we need to too. That's it. You little Jamari. My bad. I'm in the dark. Legacy just dumped out all the water. She turned the lights off. She did a little better. So why do still men get praised and women get put down or judged? I'm confused. Like I said, it's all about your experiences. So let me tell you, I grew up in a Muslim family. I went to the mosque. Men opened doors for me. My car door, the door I'm walking in. They stand on posts, make sure you're protected. I grew up with my biological father not being in the picture. My stepdad stepped up, did a great job. I have brothers and cousins around me who are just great men. My husband is a great man. And so it's about your experience. So the reason why I can give men praise is because my experience with men has been great, which is why when I said, body count and stuff, if you've been with a lot of men and been through many failed situations, then this is why now some women could feel this way. Well, this person did this to me. 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 And once again, for anyone who keeps saying you always bring up your own situation, just like you guys commented on the post, people can only speak from their own experience. I can only speak from my own experience. I haven't had failed relationships. I haven't been with multiple men. I haven't done none of that. So that's not my experience. So I don't feel that way about men. And there's other women who have the same experience. So that's why I'm able to praise men. If that makes sense. My dad did that. Mom and dad raised us. My family was good men. But that don't mean men's outside the family, okay? Okay, but I don't know those men. Like maybe you do. I don't. And if I do, I don't associate myself or be around those men. And honestly, there's two sides to every story. So, okay, guys. Anybody else? Anybody want to get on? This is going to be the first show I've been on here all by myself and nobody got on. Actually, no, it's not. But I would have liked for someone to come on. If not, I am going to be wrapping it up. I hope you guys enjoyed the show because you only been with one man for how long? It's about to be 19 years. It's about to be 19 years. It's the root. The root of it matters. The root of it matters. Like I said, I was intentional with the way that I moved from a very early age. I was intentional. I wasn't saying like, oh, I don't want to be tied down right now. I don't want to do this. I want to have my fun now. Because if I had my fun, or you know what having fun mean. Not saying I didn't have fun, but the fun y'all be talking about, like, you know, partying, sleeping around, doing that stuff, then I could not be in the situation that I'm in now. But I feel like women should start, once you hit 18, 19, you should start moving intentional, being intentional with wanting to create a family. We have a biological time clock and it be ticking. You'll come on, Mika? See if you could find a link in the comments. If not, let me pin it. Let me post it again real quick. Thank you everyone for joining in. Once again, I like to do my lives, especially if it has been a post that has had a lot of response and a lot of, you know, just response, especially if it's a negative response, because now I get to come on camera and you guys get to see the person behind the words. That makes a difference. It truly do. So I like to come on and speak with you guys verbally, because things might be taken out of context non-verbally through comments when you know, that's not the goal. The goal is to unlearn and relearn and talk, to have these conversations. Can you guys tell me, do you take away anything from these conversations? Or if you could put one thing that maybe that you feel like you would take away from this conversation today? It don't have to be good. It could be bad. Like I said, people learn from bad stuff too. Okay then, Mika. Okay. You guys should share with me. I really would like to know. You know, another thing is, it's funny because a lot of times on the posts, like, people say like all of your followers usually go against you or like don't agree with you. But I get so many people who send me messages and be like, I agree with you. But I don't they don't never really be on the post. And so I'd be confused. Like, why do you think that is? I never ask. Next time I'm gonna ask. Like, if you agree, why don't you state that on the post? Like, why do everyone who agrees usually inbox me? Like, the only thing I agree with is that once you reach a certain age, you should move intentionally within relationships. Kiela, can you come on? You should come on, have a conversation. Because I really would like to understand what you're saying, because from what I'm reading, that just doesn't make sense to me. Because why wait till you get older to move intentionally? Why not move intentionally from the very beginning within a relationship? Why just wait till you get older in a relationship to move intentionally? I would love to talk about women and most women are doing wrong to not get a healthy relationship. I really would like to, but I don't like that it's always put that I'm bashing women. I don't like that. I said that I wanted to start like some one-on-ones, but I don't know who'll be willing to do that. But I just feel like if you see someone, which you guys don't know whether I have a successful relationship or not, you just only can know what you know on Facebook, or unless you know me in real life. But if you see someone who has a relationship and is doing well, would you want to listen to that person? Or would you want to take advice from that person? Or would you want to hear anything from that person? Because I really would like to do some relationship coaching or some one-on-one. I believe I have the credentials for it. I really, truly do. No, I'm saying you said once you're 18 or 19, you should move intentional and want to create a family. I agree with that. Okay, yes. Yes. Let's build one another up. Building one another up. So that's another thing for sisterhood. What it looks like today, it seems like building one another up is not holding each other accountable. Like, for example, I was on this one podcast, and there was this girl who came on, and she had a lot of issues, and she stated them on her own. She stated all the things that is an issue within herself. And she said, like, I don't understand why I can't find a man, even though she stated all the issues within herself. And it was a podcast. The host was a man, and there was like 6 women on there. And then the women kept saying to her, you just got to find someone who loves you for you. Like, no, that's not the right answer. And that's what we do a lot. We try to have the sisterhood and be like, oh, well, someone should accept you for who you are. No, if you have a lot of issues, you should not be dating right now. You need to fix those issues. And so sometimes that's what building one another up looks like. Holding a woman accountable for what it is that she needs to fix or do to improve her situation. Not saying you okay just the way you are, you will find somebody. No, that's not building one another up. And it's not, some people would say that that's bashing, like saying, oh, well, you got things you got to fix. No, it's called tough love, and it's called the truth. And when someone is saying tough love and truth, everyone equates it to bashing, and it's not. Someone's trying to help you. Someone's trying to help you do better. You can't say, oh, there's somebody out there for you, because when that somebody come around and see all those issues she has, he's going to walk out on her. And then you're going to be like, oh, I do so much. I do this and I do that and I do this, and he left me. Well, you had a lot of issues. A lot. But instead, all your sisters on this podcast just said, oh, you'll find somebody for you. Instead of saying, no, you got to sit down and don't look for nobody right now. You have things of your own you have to fix. So true. Sometimes it's not the women, maybe it's the men. Yeah. Or sometimes we just have a hard time taking accountability or leaving a situation that's not for us. Don't keep trying to make a situation work that's not working. And sometimes it does come off as you only speak on the wrong women. Do when it goes both ways, men down women, women down men. It's not only one-sided, but I mean, that's your viewpoint, right? That's my viewpoint. I honestly, I don't see a lot of men like down in women. I really don't. But I see a lot of women down in men. I don't see a lot of men down in women. I really don't. But again, that's my viewpoint. That's why the company you surround and stuff, that matters as well. I just deleted somebody off my timeline the other day. She bashed bashed men all day, every day. All day, every single day. And it's like, it could not bother you, but it bothered me. I got tired of it. I don't need to be surrounded with that company, even if it's not physically in my presence. It's on my timeline. And sometimes I wake up and if I get on Facebook, I see something bad about a black man or a man, period. And it's just like, man, and I see more of that coming from women. I don't see a whole lot of men bashing women, but both, it's not saying that men don't, and it's not saying that women don't give men praise. There are women that praise men and don't bash men, and there are men that praise women and don't bash women, and there are men that bash women and don't praise women. I'm just saying that's why I'm intentional about the people I surround myself with. That's why I'm intentional about the people who I have on my timeline, on my Facebook. Mika, every time you say men's, I get so cringe. Men. Just men. You don't gotta put an S on it. Men always down in women. What world you living in, cousin? Hey, I guess I'm in my own bubble, which is why I'm such a happy person. I must be in my own bubble. I don't have a lot of bad experiences or been around people who do that or surround myself with people who do that. So I can't really say that. Yes, it can be both, but men down women for everything. We will look past men flaws and still date them, but not a man. Well, guess what? We should stop looking past men flaws and don't date them. Because, like you said, men won't look past ours. So don't look past theirs. It's simple. I think you're laughing at the men's. Yes, I was talking to somebody after Mika was on the, because Mika was a guest on Fire Talk before. Thank you, Mika. And she said men's the whole time, men's and women's. And when I was talking to someone, I said that. I was like, that darn Mika. It rubbed off on me. Oh yeah, guys. Here's one of my pieces my mother made. My mother makes jewelry. Oh, and I got one on my hand. So, if you guys want jewelry pieces, you should hit my mother up. They're all handmade, and you won't find anything that looks like this in the store. So, yes, like I said, everyone can project and speak from their own experience. That's why it's very important the people you surround yourself with and things like that. So let's say, for instance, since Mika, you say like you hear men talking down on women all the time. What happened? Most likely I'm not going to keep somebody like that in my company. Or let's say, Mika, you talked about men all the time. I'm probably not going to hang around you like that. Like, that's, we have to be intentional with how we move, because some would say that's being sheltered. Like the fact, some would say stuff like that is being sheltered, but sometimes it's good to be sheltered, because then you don't have all these experiences to be able to project and feel about other things. They can have 7 baby mamas and no job, and we still date them. Mika, whose fault is that? See, we have to hold ourselves accountable. Why will we date someone with 7 baby mamas and have no job? Why would you date someone like that? That's not good. You don't do that. Or then you get what you deserve. You deserve that because you, like, someone in that, and I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about in general. If someone's going to date a man with 7 baby mamas and no job, then you deserve exactly what you get from that situation. Right? They can have no car, drive hours, we still date them. No, they don't deserve a chance. I'm not dating nobody who don't got a car, okay? I'm looking for a leader and provider. And that means you got to have resources, and a car is one of them. No, you don't. Okay, so maybe, like, what if you young? Like when I met Chris, we were 18. He didn't have his own car. He had a car to drive, but it wasn't his car. And like, so I'm not gonna be like, oh, he needed a car. Like, but as at this big age that we are now, if you don't have a car, it needs to be a very, very good reason why. It can't just be like, Mika, please go to bed. You sorry? I was kind of thinking the same thing. Like, Mika, are you being funny or are you being serious? Because, man, oh man, we don't need to give them a chance. And that's why if a woman got a high body count and carry a lot of baggage, they don't need a chance either, really. Because then you get what you get from that. And if you don't want what that comes with, then you don't deal with that. My man didn't have a car. He drove mine until he got on his feet, and he got his own. That's what I'm saying. We not gonna say he don't got a car. I'm not gonna date him. Okay. I don't know what else to say about that. At first, I thought you were joking, but you're being serious. So, like I said, it got to be a really good reason. And like, if he's trying, then okay, I could see that. But when you put the 7 baby mamas, no job, no car, and like all that together, it's just like, yeah, that's a no-go. That's a no-go. 102 comments. Thank you guys for participating in on the live and commenting and speaking your point of view. I respect all of your guys' point of view. Kiela says it's the difference between a trying man and a man that's not doing nothing at all in my eyes. You just believe in your man, and there's nothing wrong with that. But a 7 baby mama's going a little too far. And even then, 7 baby mamas is going a little bit too far. But then putting it with the no job and no car, like, that's just not a great combination. But it's cool that you gave him a chance. That's really nice and kind of you. But I'm just saying, you get what you get out of a situation like that. I know some that have a lot of baby mamas. Hopefully they take care of all their children. Because, hey, if they got a lot of baby mamas, but they take care of their family, then, hey, it is what it is. At that point, hold on, guys. Hold on. Messiah, can you pass mommy that charger? Please. Fast, quick. Be fast like Sonic. Right there. Behind the bed. Here, let me see. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Oh, that light is bright and hot. Not fast like Sonic. Yes, we can't wait to go see Sonic. What, on Friday? We going to see Sonic. Let me turn this light down because that's giving me a hot flash already. I feel like my Auntie Pam. Oh, I'm getting a hot flash. Oh, man. But yes, if nobody's gonna come up with me, I'm pretty much done. Unless you guys have anything you want to say. I said all I had to say. This was a fun episode. I had fun doing this. I love that everyone was participating and interacting in the comments. I think we got up to like 20 people watching. You know, like I said, some people be like 20, they ain't nothing. People go on there, argue, and talk bad about somebody and have 100 people watching. One day I'll make it there. I'm gonna stay consistent and doing my shows. If you guys have any topics or anything, you guys should let me know. You should let me know. Thank you, Kiela, for taking the time out while you're at work to tune in and comment on the show. Legacy is back again, trying to get some milk. Here. You know I need my lip gloss. Milk. Can we finish this first? Can you say bye-bye to everyone? Say bye. Yeah. I don't have anything else to say. So yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you guys for joining in. Be on the lookout for some more posts. Make sure you guys interact on the posts. That's how I get my content for the show. And if you guys got any topics or want to be on the future show, make sure you inbox me and let me know. It's always fun to have a guest on. I did not have my mother on with me today. She is not feeling well, so I hope she feels better, and I hope she's getting some rest. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next show. I would have liked to go at least end the show with Ben on camera, but this girl is like trying to squeeze my milk into a cup like I'm a cow, and so I don't think that's going to happen. But yes, I will. Hey, look, let's say bye-bye and see you next time. Bye-bye. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Mika, for tuning in. Thank you, Kiela, for tuning in. Thank you, Sweetheart, for tuning in. Thank you, Lisa and Cynthia and Breezy and Flip and Patrice Ellis, Elijah. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I appreciate you all, and you guys have a nice night. Bye.